All right, I do believe we are live. So happy Thursday, Facebook Live, my viewers here. So if this is your first time checking out my Facebook Live, thank you so much for checking out my Facebook Live. My name is Dani LeBerry. I'm a virtual licensed psychotherapist and a happiness transformation coach. So I typically work with people who are feeling unfulfilled, overwhelmed, anxious, stressed out, maybe a little down. So each month I have a different theme in which I do 3 Facebook Lives on that theme. And for the month of February, the theme is self-expression. So last week's Facebook Live, the topic was time to talk, where we talked about how to create space to have conversations when it comes to things like mental health. Tonight's Facebook Live is on self-love. With Valentine's Day coming up, sometimes people feel as though they need to be in a relationship in order to enjoy Valentine's. And so in this Facebook Live, we're talking about ways to cultivate self-love or love for yourself. So you don't need to feel like you need to be in a relationship in order to enjoy Valentine's. And then next week's Facebook Live on February 16th is random acts of kindness. So let's go ahead and jump right in. So what is self-love? Sometimes we hear about love yourself or self-love, and it sounds so ambiguous or vague. What does that really mean? What does that look like? So self-love means having a kindness, having a consideration, having a regard for your well-being. It means not feeling like you need to sort of burn yourself out in order to please others. The same way that, say, you would love a friend, you would love a partner, having that love for yourself. Self-love can mean something different for everyone as different people because we all have many different ways to take care of ourselves. So what are some ways to, oh, hey, Jordan, thanks so much for joining me. Oh, awesome. So what are some ways to cultivate self-love? What does that look like? I know sometimes people talk about things like massages, or for women, or men, getting manicures, getting pedicures, getting facials. I love myself. I take care of myself. That's self-love and self-care. Self-love, though, goes deeper than just those things. Self-love looks like, for example, having boundaries, being comfortable with saying no without feeling guilty, noticing if you say yes when you really mean no or saying no when you really mean yes, taking care of yourself as you would take care of a loved one, of a friend, of a partner, like I was saying earlier. Now, what's funny about that, right, is we say, well, taking care of yourself the same way you would take care of someone else. Sure, we say that, but do we actually do that? So notice when, for example, you're tired and you feel as though you don't deserve rest. You go, go, go. You beat yourself up. Speaking of beating yourself up, notice your self-talk. What do you tell yourself? Do you notice you're kind of hard on yourself? You should be doing this. You should have been doing that. How could you have done this? We need to get this done. And notice if you're beating yourself up. That has to do with self-love. Because what's funny is that when it comes to some of the things we tell ourselves in our head, we wouldn't dare say that to a loved one or a friend, right? But yet we would say that to ourselves. So there's one demonstration, right? A clear example. So having healthy boundaries, taking care of yourself, taking a break, taking a rest, noticing how you talk to yourself, not sacrificing your well-being to please others. That is a huge way, a sign, a symptom, a flag. Are you taking care of yourself and are you loving on yourself? Do you notice that you tend to sacrifice your well-being in order to please other people? Joaquin, hey, nice to see you on here joining me on my Facebook Live. Having integrity. This is so, so very important. And this is actually what I work a lot on with my clients in my practice, is having integrity. One of the many ways to build love for yourself is developing respect for yourself. So imagine if, for example, I said, hey, let's go to the gym. Let's go to the gym tomorrow at 9 a.m. and you don't hear from me. I don't answer your calls. I don't answer your text messages. And then finally you hear from me. Oh, hey, yeah, you know what? My dog got sick. I'm so sorry. Well, let's go on. Let's go on. Let's go on Saturday. Saturday comes. I blow you off. You don't hear from me. Nothing, right? Over time, you're gonna look at me as, gosh, Dani's flaky. She doesn't mean what she says. She says she's gonna meet up with me, and she doesn't. When other people do that to us, we see it blatantly. We see it obviously, right? But when we do it to ourselves, we just brush it off to the side. Oh, it's not a big deal. I hit snooze to go to the gym. I'll just go the next day. It's not a big deal. We'll break our word to ourselves, which we don't realize actually cuts down on our own self-respect. So now, just like how on the outside, right, with someone else, you can tell when someone's not their word, when they're a flaky person, and we just kind of have this distrust for them, right? Same thing, we don't realize when we do it to ourselves because it's all in our subconscious mind. So when we're not keeping our word to ourselves, we're actually cutting ourselves down and creating distrust within ourselves. So you see how all that connects there. So to cultivate self-love in a nutshell, creating healthy boundaries, practicing saying no without feeling guilty, taking care of yourself as you would take care of a loved one, as you would take care of a friend, meaning take a break when you need rest, meaning notice how you're talking to yourself. What are you telling yourself? Are you beating yourself up? Not sacrificing your well-being to please others, and having integrity, keeping your word with yourself. Notice if you're breaking your word. What are you breaking it for? Is it because you want to feel comfortable? Is it in order to feel right? Is it in order to look good? So, if anything came up for you while you were watching this, please don't hesitate to either send me a message here on Facebook or send me an email. My email is Dani, D-A-N-I, @DaniLaberry.com. And I want to take this opportunity to tell you about a couple of events I have coming up if you might be interested. So this Saturday I have, if you're local to Boca Raton, Florida, I'm offering a guided beach meditation. It's $10 per person at South Beach Park in Boca Raton this Saturday. I believe that's the 13th at 8:30 a.m. And then starting February 21st, which is a Sunday, it's a week after Valentine's Day, for 13 Sundays, I'm leading a free group session. It's a book club on The Fifth Agreement by Don Miguel Ruiz. So if you've been noticing that you've been feeling in a funk, you've been feeling disconnected, that you've been just really off, you're not really in alignment, you're noticing that you're feeling kind of funky, this book is amazing because it really breaks down beliefs that you don't even realize you're operating in. So I would strongly recommend checking out the book. Like I said, the group series is free. It starts on Sunday, February 21st, and it's every Sunday for 13 Sundays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's about an hour and a half. Now, if you haven't been to any of my group series before, I would strongly encourage you to check this out. I've done a couple group series book clubs last year, and they were phenomenal. The first one I did was on the Melody Beattie Codependent No More group, and then the second one I did was on Deepak Chopra's 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, and people loved it. They were on there. It created really awesome connection, relationships, epiphanies, aha moments, clarity. People felt so confident leaving the book club. So if you haven't been to any of my book clubs, I would strongly recommend checking out the information. It's on Eventbrite. It's also on my website. You could also send me an email or send me a message here on Facebook. Thank you so much for checking out my Facebook Live. Again, my name is Dani Laberry. I'm a virtual licensed psychotherapist and a happiness transformation coach. Take care of yourself, and I will see you on the next Facebook Live. Have a great night.